So students, in the last class we had started the chapter nature of sociology, and we saw the introduction, and we saw the importance of sociology, and why sociology is important, and who is the father of sociology. That is your Auguste Comte, who is the father of sociology. Then as we moved on, we saw the different definitions of sociology, meaning and definition. Then we saw the different what is the different definition given by different definition given by a lot of different writers and authors and for philosophers and sociologists, like we saw Auguste Comte. And the important definition we can consider as, because he is the father of sociology, so we can see sociology is the science of social phenomena subject to natural and invariable laws, the discovery of which is the object of investigation. This was the definition given by Auguste Comte. Then we saw the term sociology, from where it has been derived. It is derived from the Latin word socios, means companion or associate, and logos is been the Greek word logos, meaning science. So science or the study. So we have two meanings, that is, one is the Latin word, the other is the Greek word. So as we moved on, we saw different definitions. Then we had what is the origin and development, how sociology as a subject it started developing in the society, how it took so much different stages to complete and get the standardized in the human sciences, in the social science streams. Okay, then we saw the different examples of sociology. Then as we moved, we saw the factors that contributed for the emergence of sociology. So what was the main reason how sociology as a subject it emerged? Okay, then we had the major factors which led to the favor to the emergence, which was the things. Then we saw the first one was the impact of twin revolution, the French Revolution and the Industrial Revolution. Then how the in twin revolution, how did the French Revolution, which happened in 1789, which led to the, which favored to the emergence of sociology, and also the industrial revolution, which led to the favored to the emergence of sociology, we saw. Then we saw the revolution, how the revolution of these two revolution, that is your French Revolution and your industrial revolution, led to the revolution affected by human thinking, how it led to the great philosophers to come up and start what is advocating in the society. Then so now we'll continue with the next point, that is the inspiration from the growth of natural and other social sciences, means how we got inspiration from other social sciences, other streams like history, psychology, or the other social science streams. So the age of enlightenment and the era of revolution increased the importance of science and the society. Science subjects came to introduce as a major subjects of learning in the several colleges and universities in the West. So what happened is, it has an enlightenment of the era in during revolution, science in society. So we started reading how science play a major role in the society. Then the science subjects came to be introduced, so they introduced science subjects in the society in several colleges and universities in the West, because in the West only your your French Revolution and your French Revolution and your Industrial Revolution happened. Further, technologies products, from coal to steam engines, from the sword to handgun and cannons, from pen to paper to printing press, and like started entering almost all the sectors of life science, thus started acquiring enormous prestige in the society. So what happened is, as it was developing, technology started coming up, new technologies started coming up. See, now it is common if a new technology is coming up, but during that time, for example, you always do cooking in a fire with a coal, and also your steam engine started coal to steam engines. So we had coal engines, then they converted to steam engines. Then swords were converted to guns. Then you had your printing press was introduced. When printing press introduced, what happened is, you can start studying books and new knowledges would have come up. So this is a enormous prestige. So still many things started coming up in the society that become the important aspect in the society. Then the success attained by the natural scientists inspired and even tempted good number of social thinkers to intimate their example. So what happened, as natural scientists, they were doing science had many streams. So I also, what happened is, the social thinkers, like people who think about society, who thought, what to say, who gave importance to society, even they started thinking, and they thought that we have to do something and we have to start intimating people to learn sociology. So many thinkers wanted model sociology after the successful physical and biological sciences. So what happened? Many thinkers modeled sociology after successful physical and biological sciences. So when they did a lot of researches on physical and biological sciences, like Comte, Auguste Comte, William Durkheim, Spencer, Weber, Simmel, and others successfully demonstrated that the methods of physical sciences could be used effectively to study social world. So they had differentiated between the physical and the biological sciences. They thought that should we use physical science or biological science to study sociology. So when all the social thinkers like Comte, Spencer, Weber, etc., they thought that yes, if we have to study that, then we have to study the physical sciences, so that the physical sciences could be used effectively. The physical sciences more effective to study the society and the social world where we are living in. Okay, inspiration, the third point is, so we saw the first point, when revolution, then we saw the growth of natural and other sciences. Then the third point is inspiration provided by newly discovered societies and cultures. So we got inspiration from newly discovered societies, the colonial power. So during that time the British was ruling. So during that time we were being ruled. Okay, Europe was, what to say, they had colonized so many countries, and India was also among them. So the colonial power of Europe, such as England, France, Portugal, Spain, Holland, Germany, and other nations, came to contact with different societies and culture in colonies. So what happened is, Europe is a continent. So in that continent we have so many countries like England, France, Portuguese, Spain, Dutch, Holland, Germany, and your Scotland. Everything is under, it comes under this continent. Okay, so when it comes under this continent, what happened, they had started, they were not just here, they started invading so many places, and they had colonized so many. For example, India was under colony of Bangladesh, your America, etc., was under colonies. And so when they came up, they found new cultures in the colony. So when they came under different society, they started adapting. And there's no only one kind of society, there are many kinds of society in and around the world. Their exposure to such diversities in cultures provided an intellectual challenge for the social scientists of the day. Information about the widely contrasting social practices of this distance people raised fresh questions about society. Why some societies were more advanced than others? So we have questions now. For example, now you have the difference between your rural area, that is your village, rural, and your urban area. So you for urban or for rural, your rural is the village side. Even today the village side mostly it is not developed when compared to urbanized country, urbanized towns is been. So the rural areas is not been developed. Okay, in today's scenario, if you see, so what happened during that time, they had so many diversity, so many cultures were there. Okay, and what happened to the thinkers, the intellectual people, the social scientists of the day, they thought that why contrasting practices we have contrasting social practice of the distant people raised fresh questions about the society. So what happened, people are there, yes, we follow the social norms, we have different types of culture, but what happens is we have bias, right? There are, for example, some are rich, some are poor. So why that is there in the society, the social thinkers were thinking. Okay, and why some society were advanced. Okay, advanced means they were developed, they knew what is happening in and around and all of those, but some were not developed. Okay, so as we move on, what lessons could the European countries learn from comparison of various societies? So what lesson did the European countries, because they were colonizing people, no? So what did they learn? Why the rate of social change was not same everywhere? So he's asking one more question. We had so many questions. Okay, the first question was, it starts from here, why some society were advanced. Okay, first one. Next was, what lesson did the European countries learn from them? Okay, then next is, why the rate of social change was not same? Why social change was not the same? For example, if rich are becoming rich, poor are becoming poor. No, so why are poor not, what to say, they're developing? The new science of the society called sociology emerged as an independent science in an attempt to find convincing answer to many questions. So sociology as a subject came up to answer all these questions in the society. So for next we will move on to nature of sociology. So when we move on to nature of sociology, see, sociology as a branch of knowledge. So see, everything is as a branch of knowledge, even history, everything. When sociology we consider as a branch of knowledge, it has its own unique characteristics. So sociology as a subject is different. See, every subject is different in its own way, right? So sociology also is different in its own way. It is different from other social sciences in certain respects. Okay, so it is different from other social science. For example, history is also social science, or psychology, or political science, everything, every subject are the same. But what happens is, yeah, sociology also it has its own different characteristics, etc. It is different from other social science in certain respects. Characteristics of sociology are enlisted by Robert Bierstedt. So, who was given the characteristics of sociology? It is Robert Bierstedt in his book The Social Order. So in which book he has written? In the Social Order book he has written the information about the characteristics of sociology, may be summarized by the following. So we have the different characteristics of sociology which we will be dealing right now. So we are seeing the characteristics of sociology. The first one is sociology is an independent science. So independent science means sociology is not with some other sciences. Okay, see, science means don't think that what science I think is this related to science? No, it's not related to science. It is subject, it's a stream which is part of social science. We say social science, no, when you study in school we had social science. Under social science you had history, psychology, economics, not psychology, sorry, so psychology, sociology, political science, etc. So the first one is sociology is an independent science. It is not treated as and studied as a branch of other science like physiology or political physiology. As an independent science, it has its own subject matter, theories, and methods of operation. So it is not like other subjects like physiology and political physiology which we study together. Okay, it is only different. So sociology has its own theories, its own method of approach how we will study sociology. And sociology is a social science and not a physical science. So sociology is not a social science. Okay, so we had two different streams, that is a social science and physical science. So sociology is a social science, not a physical science. So sociology comes under your social science. Sociology belongs to the social science and not to physical science. As a social science, it concentrates in attention on man. So the main aspect of sociology is concentrates on man, is social behavior, how he behaves in the society, then social activities and social life. It is intimately related to other social sciences like anthropology, political science, economics, and psychology, and also your history. Okay, so sociology is it is not a physical science. Physical science it is related to your, so it is like other streams. It is like social sciences. Okay, so you will have a question asking that in the we saw in the earlier point that it is related to physical science. When you come to the revolution part, you can see methods of physical sciences could be used effectively to the social world. So you'll think your physical science is there, then why not sociology is coming under physical science? Because physical science for experimenting part, yes, we can study about social world, but when you are coming to the theory part and all of those, this is something which is related to social science, so society, right? Sociology. So it is a social science. Sociology is a related to social science. Third point is sociology is categorical and not a normative discipline. So it is a category, it is not a discipline. Sociology studies things as it is. So how you have, just like that, it will study, okay, and not as it is out to be. So sociology studies things as it is and not as out to be. It will study how it is, okay, how it is going on. It will not change the aspect and study. As a science, sociology is necessarily silent about question of value. So it is silent about the questioning of the values. Okay, it does not make any kind of value judgment. It will not, you will not have a judgment. For example, in science, when you're doing an experiment in physics, let it be chemistry, you have to bring out a value judgment stating that this is true or that is not true. But in sociology, that is not much important. Okay, its approach is neither moral nor immoral. So its approach is neither moral nor immoral, but amoral. Okay, so it is not moral, it is not immoral, it is amoral, it is ethically neutral, it is something in between. Okay, not moral also, not immoral, but in between. Okay, it lies in between. It cannot decide the direction of in which sociology ought to be. So it cannot say the direction how sociology is, it is as it is, no changes. Okay, then moving on to the next point, sociology is a pure science and not a applied science. So here only you will have a differences: physical science, biological science, right? So here you have pure science and your applied science. Sociology is a pure science because the immediate aim of sociology is to acquisition of knowledge. So sociology is a pure science, okay, because we are studying about knowledge. Okay, knowledge is much important. On the contrary, and applied science is interested in the application of utilization that knowledge. So here what happened in pure applied science, application, utilization, we have to utilize and see. For example, in what is happening in society, you cannot recreate because societies are different from one from another. Okay, so it varies, so you can't do that. Sociologists never determine questions of public policy. They will not question public policy because public are leading their life, and do not recommend legislature what law should be passed or repealed. So sociology will not give laws or it will not be repealed. Okay, but the knowledge acquired by sociology is a great help to administrators, legislators, diplomats, teachers, social workers, and citizens. It is important for the people living in the society to know what is happening in and around their society and also outside the society. So only sociology as a subject we study. So moving on to the fifth one, sociology is relatively an abstract science and not a concrete science. Okay, so it is something abstract. Sociology does not confine itself to study of particular or concrete instances of human events. So in sociology, we are not studying about one human or one particular society. Okay, we are studying about whole society. But when you study history, you have parts, right? First, you will start study about civilization, then you will study about kings, queens related to society. But here you are studying as a humanitarian. It is much important. Okay, but studies it it studies the abstract form of humans even at their patterns. So it will study the abstract form of humans and their patterns. So, so abstract means it is just an idea, okay, not a physical applied thing. It is just an idea. So, for example, it does not limit itself to study of any particular war or revolution. So, what to say? Sociology as history. Now, you study about particular war, etc. Now, here in sociology, you will not study about only one war or one king or one queen. On the contrary, it deals with them in a general or abstract manner. So we just study the idea of the manner, okay, as social phenomena, social importance, okay, that it is a type of social conflict. So we study about the social conflict in the society, okay, what are the problems in the society. In the similar manner, it makes a generalized study of marriage, religion, family, group, etc. So it does not only tell about society, we study about what all are there in society. For example, marriage, religion, family, group, all of those things we see in the society. Next, moving on to sixth point, sociology is a generalizing and a not particularizing science. It is generalizing, okay, we don't particularly tell that is true in sociology. Sociology is something generalizing, okay. Sociology tries to make generalization on the basis of study of some selected events. So we study about selected events, okay. For example, sociologists make generalization like following. So what are the selected events we study? Just generalize and they select the events and they study. So the first one is joint families are more stable than the nuclear families. So you can make the difference between joint family are more important, like stable. It is like something which is much important than the nuclear families. Nuclear families has so many problems. Even joint family has problems, but when compared, what are the differences? So it will just generalize. It will not tell the joint family only is important or the nuclear family. It will just generalize. Both are somewhere equal. Social changes take place with greater rapidity in urban communities than the tribal or the rural community. So social changes take place greater rapidly in urban. So where do social change take place? Is in the urban, that is the cities, okay, but not in the tribal or the village communities. Rural means village. Why? Because they practice the same thing. When you shift from one place to, for example, we can take a boy who lives in a village, suddenly moves to Chennai. or let it be Bangalore. So when he come to Bangalore, what he'll start adapting that, right? So that is how he starts changing himself. So when he's saying in urban community, you have a lot of changes than other things. Okay. Then the seventh one, sociology is a general social science and not a special social science. It is just a general social science. The area of inquiry of sociology is general and not specialized. So we just study of sociology is only general. It is not special. Okay. It is concerned with the human activities, whether they are political, economic, religious, social, etc. in general way. See, we study about human activity. We study about human activity in general manner. Let it be all the activities like political, economical, religious, social, etc. Okay. Then the final one, final characteristics given by Robert. That is, finally, sociology is both empirical and rational science. So sociology is both empirical and rational science. Sociology is an empirical science because it emphasizes the facts, the results from observation and experimentation. So it is empirical because it will observe the things in the society, in the happenings, and it will experiment it. Okay, it results on trial or the experiment or experience. So we try to experiment and we get experience from it. It is a rational science because it stresses the role of reasoning and logical interferences. So what happens? Sociology questions. It is rational because it starts questioning and it starts reasoning in logical manner. An empirist collects facts where as a rationalist coordinates the arrange them. So it's try to coordinate and arrange the sociology. Okay, all modern science including sociology avail themselves of both incurring and empirical and rational science. It's not just sociology, all the modern sciences, so which came after 1950s, right? So all these are related to it as empirical and natural science. So still now students, we have seen the characteristics of sociology, then we saw how what's the development led to the sociology as some subject, what were the 3 points there we saw. So we will be seeing the next details in the next class. Okay.